That's strange. 1 second here. Let me hit finish. I have to kind of guess when my video starts now. It starts on X and it starts on YouTube, but before I had this really clear, like, you're going. And now I just have to be like, okay, wait a couple of seconds and then it should be working. But I think I'm good. If you guys could just, if you guys could let me know in chat. It looks like I see things running on X right now too. That's a good sign. So I'm going to assume I'm working. But it would be nice if somebody would confirm in chat. Anybody. And then we'll get started on our Bitcoin. Hey, there we go. Andy's here. Andy's always in the house. What's up, buddy? So yeah, we're going to be going over the Bitcoin miners. I've done a little bit of research over the week. Also, a few things too. I did get, oh, I better watch my mic here. I'm getting a little loud. I did talk to Alejandro and I gave him a list of everything that I'm looking to do. So we're going to have a Bitcoin miner comparison entry that's going to be on visualstocks.com. That site I love to use, and I've actually got a few Bitcoin miners pulled up right now. I got CleanSpark and Iron. I want to talk to them a little bit. Iron has definitely been intriguing me, but I also need to do more research about the short report that was published against them, I think in July, just to understand it. So I'm reaching out to a bunch of people in the mining community. I reached out to BTC Mining Guy, and there's a few others. Charging Stat, or let me see. Yeah, Charge Stack. Dr. Lewis. I'm going to talk to him too and just see what else I can find. He seems to have the best posts that I can find about the company. But anyway, I'm following a bunch of miners now. I'm digging through the news events. We're building out visual stocks in order to be able to account for this miner comparison page. In that, we're going to be switching a lot of things around. So you know how I tried to build out a few of these graphs last week. There weren't too many that were done. But what we're going to be doing is we're going to be switching these to monthly. I think it's got to be monthly for a number of these metrics in order to be able to really provide value and accurate information. Financials, sure. That can all still be the same way, right? That can all be like revenue. It's all quarterly, whatever. But non-financial metrics we're going to get them to a monthly time frame. I don't know how quickly it's happening. Alejandro's working on it. He's a good dude. Like I said, I get nothing from him. He did, though, today offer to give me membership for free. So I did earn that. So I guess I'm kind of getting paid by Alejandro. And he's a good dude. But so we're gonna work on graphs. I don't know if I asked him for this, but I want to be able to have an order by too for all of these and maybe a few different chart types. But we're going to try and make it to where we have really good visuals going forward as we do these weekly mining videos, to where we'll have updated data. We'll have really great visuals to be able to do quick comparisons between the miners. As I dig through them, I'm finding more and more that there's very few I care about. I'm not going to lie. So if you guys have some miners that you're interested in that I'm not covering, you're going to have to speak up. But I'm not interested in BitDeer. I'm not interested in Sphere. I'm not interested in BitDigital. I'm interested in Bitfarms. Cypher a little bit. Again, I still own some there. They've got a decent expansion. I kind of want to see how things go. But I'm going to be delving in deeper into that company too. Really all the ones I care about. CleanSpark, I'm going to, obviously that's still at the top of my list. Core Scientific is trash. If you guys want me to tell you why it's trash, I'm happy to. All you got to do is ask. Essentially, it's because they've already been bankrupted once. And we're seeing revenue just plummeting. We're seeing hash rate plummeting. There's no real plan that I see with this company to keep them from going bankrupt. They have no HODL stack. Their debt isn't horrible. It's $75 million right now, but it's just they have no real assets. And I just don't. I think they're just going to go bankrupt again. I mean, you could do it twice, guys. You could do it twice. So I'm not really interested in cores either. Hive, maybe. Their revenue isn't plummeting. Not even Hive though. Honestly, there's no expansion plans for Bitcoin, and I don't know. They do have a HODL. I'll leave Hive. Hive will be on my maybe. Hive is on my maybe list, so I might give a shit about Hive. Maybe ? But outside of that, let's keep going down here. Hut 8, I've told you guys a long time ago. After the short report was published on them, I lost interest. I didn't return communications from Susie. I stopped focusing on them completely. And if you look here, I mean, at least from the Bitcoin side, we're not seeing anything great. Monthly BTC revenues down to 5 million. Let's look at the actual company too. Let me just hop over here. I want to make sure that Bitcoin mining revenue isn't reflecting only part of their revenues. It might be on his list. So let's see here. So they have 35 million in revenues. It looks like for this company, even though BTC production is continuing to plummet. I don't know what's going on with debts on these. I've got to check out. I got to do a deep dive on any remaining miners that I'm really interested in. It looks like revenues aren't really gaining, and so again, I don't know. I think this one's an HPC / Ethereum something play. I might keep this one on the maybe list too, just to keep an eye on it. But I don't know that I'm impressed, at least with the Bitcoin side of the business. So not too much going on there either. Yeah, you guys throw out whatever you want to in chat. It looks like Bobby McPherson on the X side says, all good. Haywood says on the X side, says, thanks, dude. Appreciate your insight and work. No problem, man. I'm happy to do it. If anything, I'm trying to get it to where we can all learn from each other. I think it's going to be good. Iron is the one I'm most interested in learning more. I know a lot about CleanSpark. I know a lot about Mara. I've listened to multiple conference calls on both of them. I've done the deep dives. I feel pretty confident about all of them. And even Bitfarms I liked. I just didn't like some of the stuff that was going on with how they were in Canada. But a lot of those concerns are gone. So I'm feeling better about them too. But if there's anything I'm going to spend a lot of time on, it's probably understanding the short report on Iron. And then deeper dives into really comparing, I think, those four. It's going to be Iron, CleanSpark, Mara, and Bitfarms are the ones I'm really going to be focused on, with the other list being Riot, Wolf as kind of secondaries, and then maybe thirds are Hive and Hut. So I'm just going to jot that down to make sure. Second. And so that's kind of my priority of what I'm seeing right now. If you guys think I'm missing anything or should be focusing on other stuff, I'd like to know. I did want to point out that the hash difference on Iron jumped substantially in the month of August. And I need to make sure that this is just clearly Bitcoin hash. I believe it is, the way it's portrayed here from Sebastian Ski. And I won't be referencing his work as much. In the future, it'll probably be just small little tidbits once we get this other, the visuals built out on visualstocks.com. But, again, a nice uptick here. It's just really getting my mindset past the short report, because these guys do have good revenues. They got 14.7 million in Bitcoin revenue on here. But then if you go over and look for, at least for, Q2 of 2024, I don't know how much they're actually getting out of their high performance compute HPC side of the business at all right now. That's some of the stuff I need to dig into more, really understand the business, understand if there's any validity in the short report. But you can see here 57 million for a quarter for Q2. I would expect those revenues to increase quite a bit here soon. And just looking at it, their cash on hand is a great number. 400 million is not a bad sitting position. It's just really, is the short report accurate in any way? Because these guys are showing massive growth. If they do what they want to do, their Q1 2025 revenue would be 142 million. And if you look over here at CleanSpark, if we go back over to that one real quick, you will see that that's not much different in comparison for what we're talking about between these two. I'm not sure where we're grinding here. There we go. If you look over here, Q1, 150. So a little bit behind CleanSpark. And if there's anything to HPC, if there's anything valuable in regard to the business here, I'll be very curious to see whether or not that's something that they're going to be able to benefit from. And so this is, as far as I can tell with the HPC plays, it's the most interesting. Let me see here. Oak said, please ignore if you don't want to answer this question in this video. I was looking at Shop as visual stocks. I see their outstanding shares. Yeah, probably not in this video. I'm going to keep it topic specific so I don't blur the lines too much. But I'll be happy to talk about that tomorrow morning in the morning recap. Or I'm sorry, not the morning recap. The morning show or market open. I got to remember the terms here. The market open. And then or the market recap in the afternoon at 3 p.m. tomorrow. So I'll be happy to go over both of those, dude. Or go over that whole thing. But yeah, so theoretically, maybe there's some validity here to owning Iron. So I think, like you guys talked me out last week, changing my mind about Bitfarms and me moving about $90,000 over to it. I'm interested in iron, but I'm hesitant. I want to know more about it and understand it better. So that's where I'm probably going to talk to people like DC Lewis, or DR Lewis. And then also, I don't know, Bitcoin mining guy just told me it's going to be the next Clean Spark. I'm like, bro, you got to give me more than that. So, so we'll see. But I do like the fact that these guys have heavy expansion plans. They're looking for 37 exahash by the end of the year. And then I saw something in his write up about potential for 50 exahash in 50 exahash in 2025. I couldn't find that anywhere else, and I didn't find that in Sebastian Ski's work either. He doesn't have them at 50 exahash, so I need to make sure I understand that number. He has them at 30 exahash in the future, but I just don't know if his sheets aren't updated or what. I don't know why he doesn't have that number sitting inside of here, because it does seem a lot more aggressive than the data points that he has in front of him. Let me roll down here. If anybody has any questions too, let me know. Freedom Fighter 1 said, even worth buying iron if they don't hold BTC. See, there's a lot of things to think about, man. The question is, will HPC be a revenue generator? Will it be consistent? Will there be enough profit there? Is there validity in the short report? The short report is not pretty. It is not kind. It is the same kind of thing that where one with Mara kept me out for a while, and then another one with Hut kept me out, since. So just about them, selling off, about them making statements about large expansion, about them having all this power that they have access to while they're selling a ton of their shares. They're telling everybody how great the company is. Maybe not having enough redundancy as far as connections for fiber optic connections that can go to some of the facilities they have. Also concerns about their financials in regard to their data center and how much power they actually have available to them and how much that would cost to energize. There's just a lot of questions in here. I need to talk to other people that are more familiar with this company to understand, is there validity to this report? Is it completely off? And if it's completely off, great. That makes me feel better. But again, is HPC going to be something that's super profitable for these guys that offsets the fact that they don't own Bitcoin and don't have a HODL stack that can appreciate by 2 to 3x if Bitcoin keeps going higher? That, again, is one of the things that I love. I love that about these other companies like Mara. I love that about other companies like CleanSpark. These are huge benefits to these companies when you have 7,500 Bitcoin if you're CleanSpark, or Riot, which has a little bit more, or Hut, which has a little bit more, or Mara that has even more than that. But again, so they benefit in a large way. But these guys do have a large cash position. I don't know, man. I want to at least look at maybe one HPC play as a diversification. So that's my thought process right now. Rec Timber says, iron being Australian based concern you? Some institutions won't invest in foreign companies. Australia would be one of the better ones, but I don't know. Yeah, I don't know. Again, there's just a lot. It's publicly traded in the U.S., so I don't think it's too big of a deal. Sorry, Disease Kodak, you are not late. I am early. So I wanted to start an hour early. Plus, I realized in one of the videos I actually said 6, but then I put it down for 7. So this is not on you. I'm just starting early. I've still got to figure out the best time for what works for me and then also for the streamers. So that's 100% on me. But yeah, I don't know, Rec Timber. I don't know. I really want to make sure that this is a legitimate company that doesn't have any weird fraud or any other things going on that are validated by this, that are in this short report. So I need to do discovery, and that's my goal for this next week, is to really understand this company more. But I totally favor companies that hold Bitcoin. That's just the way I am. Mara has 26,000 Bitcoin. I love that. MicroStrategy has 250,000 now. So I look at it as like a synthetic Bitcoin miner, right? In some ways. So, Bitcoin mining guys here. Yay, what's up, bro? Iron is legit. They met all of the recs for it. Yeah, exactly. That's the way I look at it too. They're publicly traded in the United States, so that part's good. I just worry about the short report. I don't like it when people make what seem to be, at least at the surface, pretty good arguments for why a company isn't going to be successful. And that's why I'm going to do a deeper dive this week. And that's why I want to see if I can meet DR Lewis and or review his work a lot better too, or have a conversation with him so that I can see just get a better idea of the company. But I like the growth plans. I'm not sure why Sebastian Ski, Bitcoin mining guy. Do you know this? Dr. Lewis has these guys down for 50 exahash in 2025, but I was looking at Sebastian Ski's work, and he only had them for 30 exahash for their expansion plan. Do you know what that's about? Why there's a disparity between the two? Do you know which one's accurate as far as how they're looking to expand? And you said the short report was written by one person who has been sued for market manipulation. Most short report companies have been sued for market manipulation. So I don't even know if that like necessarily, qualms my fears. You're saying 40 exahash by early 2025. Why doesn't Sebastian Ski have that updated in his sheet? Interesting. Interesting. Anyway, so I've got research to do on that stuff, but I still do. I don't know. What do you think, Bitcoin mining guy? I like companies that hold Bitcoin. How do you feel about that? I think that they get a nice little multiplier if Bitcoin doubles. That 26,000 Bitcoin that Mara's holding is going to look pretty juicy when it doubles in value in US dollar terms. So I like that kind of stuff. What do you think? 30 exahash is fully funded. Okay, cool. Do we know what it's going to cost to get an extra 20 or 10 by early 2025? Jesse, not sure Coors is going bankrupt again with their H. Yeah, see, dude, I worry about that. Blame. Yeah, I like HODL. Okay, you feel the same. So Bitcoin mining guy says he likes HODL stacks too. That's the thing. It's the only reason I hold Mara. I mean, I don't like them as much as a Bitcoin mining company, but I think Fred Thiel is brilliant. As a CEO, maybe not for executing on the miner business, but I do think he's a really smart guy. I think he's got a strong presence. I think he understands Bitcoin really well. A little weirded out. I don't know how to feel about some of the extra things they're doing in the Bitcoin space with like creating their own coins and like things. I don't know how to feel about all that, but I love the fact that he's smart enough to understand if you can't even mine Bitcoin really well, you should probably buy a shit ton of it at the bottom and then sell it at the top. That's a good strategy too, in my opinion. Personally, I don't hate it. Hey, Restream said I've received 100 messages today with Restream chat. Congratulations! How exciting! But yeah, so it's gonna be interesting to see what it all breaks down with these different miners. In Cores, I'll go back to Cores real quick because Blaine was asking about that. So first off, when a company has went bankrupt, I just make the assumption that the probability of them going bankrupt again is higher. Okay. And secondly, here's what I don't like. When this was like the biggest hash rate miner publicly traded in the world, and they had a huge Bitcoin stack, and it's all gone. It's all gone, and their revenues are declining immensely. And again, they might have some. Let's look real quickly, and I should be fair. Let's look over at Core Scientific. Let's wipe out CleanSpark here, and just take a look. So let's look at revenue across the board, and we should look at hosted hash rate versus self hash rate, all these kind of things. So they had 141 million in revenue. They had 804 million last quarter in losses. They have massive long-term debts. I mean, $500 million. They only have 97 million in cash. This scares me. This scares me a lot. So when you have 141 million in revenue, I guess it's good that their cash flows are kind of flat. Maybe it means they're not going bankrupt. Maybe it means that these guys can coast for a while. But how are they going to expand without share dilute? I don't know. Maybe I should give Cores another chance too. Bitcoin mining stock guide. Do you have any thoughts on this one? New management though. Adam Sullivan has taken great steps to recover their image. I don't own any, just an observation. Yeah, again though, so I struggle. So I still struggle. These guys don't have their Bitcoin production is falling. At the rate they're going, I think you'll barely be able to call them a Bitcoin miner. I don't know of any real expansion plans with these guys. Let's go back over here, assuming that this is right. So they're not even expanding. So is this even a Bitcoin miner anymore? It kind of reminds me a little bit of Hut. I'm probably going to put it in my Hive Hut Cores list where it's like, will this company be a Bitcoin miner in the future? Because I just don't know. They're drifting away from it and they have no Bitcoin. So I still don't love it, but I also can't shit on them too much because their net income being down so much in Q2. I mean, CleanSpark had a similar thing too. A few miners got hit pretty good. I think they did some write-offs too. Probably just depreciating a shit ton of assets. But yeah, I'm trying to consolidate my list. I really want to focus it, and so my primary intent is again to focus on CleanSpark, Iron, Mara, and Bitfarms, and then secondary ones will probably be Cypher, Riot Wolf, and then I'll be putting Hive, Hut, Cores in the tertiary column because I don't care as much about them. But I can be talked into things. I just have to have good arguments from somebody on why they're going to be all right. I just don't even see this company. I don't even see them as a Bitcoin miner anymore. But again, CleanSpark, I love the hash rate growth. I love the Bitcoin production. It's strong. If you look over at key charts here, you can see in US dollar terms, they're still sitting good. Their holdings keep growing. I like what I'm seeing with CleanSpark. I like the fact that they're expanding at such a great rate. The operating leverage looks sick. Just a lot of good things here. And I don't hate the way I see Iron either. Again, if they catch up with revenue, if they can do what they're talking about over the next 3 quarters, I think they'll benefit too. It's just I don't think they'll have the multiplier that Bitcoin will have unless they really prove out the HPC business. You're watching 2x speed to catch up. All right, cool, Dizzy's Kodak. Silas, hey, what's up, buddy? Sorry I started early. Let me get caught up with some of the other chats here on YouTube. So Rumi says, all right, let me get a little bit higher here. So Andy Zhao says, if I remember correctly, Iron's HPC income as a percentage of their total income is like 5%. They're still mainly a Bitcoin miner. I don't know if that's as true. Which one were you talking about? Iron? I don't know if that's as true anymore. Oh, no. You're probably right. Because I'm confusing months with quarters. This will be good when we get some of the data cleaned up on the visual stocks. So you're right. They're just a baby HPC miner, and the bulk of their revenue is still coming from Bitcoin. So that's going to have the greatest impact. Thank you, Andy. I'll get more familiar with this. Again, I'm just jumping back into it again, guys. I'm not going to be the all-seeing eye of Sauron right now. I'll get there pretty quick. I usually do. But your guys' input is hugely valuable in the short term and long, really. I mean, all the time. Rumi, sorry, just joining the stream. Will you please go over the top 3 miner stocks in order? I don't know that I have all that right now. I mean, my favorites right now are CleanSpark as just like the best miner play, period, as far as management and everything. I like them the most. I think they're the most undervalued out of the crew right now. As far as, and you can rate these in different ways, right? As far as like opportunity for the number of X you can receive based upon it, I would say Bitfarms is number 2. But if you talked about HODL stack, I'd say Mara is number 1. And then if you talked about HPC abilities and expansion plans, Iron might be up there too. But again, there's things I need to understand about the company. I don't love Riot or Wolf as much. Riot was a great company. They were my favorite mining stock in 2019-20 range. But they've just fallen off. And Mara was up there too. But they were really there for acquiring Bitcoin too. So you rate them by different things. I'll probably have cleaner lists in the future. For now, though, it's more of an exploratory session and then just talking through thoughts on which ones are better and why. And then here, once we get our better metrics and I do deeper dives, I think even next week will be a lot better than this week. Oak, now is a great time for me as far as streaming goes. Later, 8 and 9 gets a little late. Yeah, that's what I'm thinking too, man. I'm thinking 6 is probably pretty good for me as well. Stefan, hey, Jesse. Hope CleanSpark can catch a bid this week. I think it's going to be one of the ones to catch it. But again, you guys have to remember, I believe that MicroStrategy goes first. It's the big cap, right? It's the $25 billion powerhouse. And so it's going to go first. I think it's 25 billion. Maybe it's more now. It's going to go first. Then we'll probably see Mara as a secondary mover. And any smaller miners, they'll start to come up too, and they'll come up with a greater multiple. So you'll see them really catching up once the market is fully risk on. We need to confirm some of that, though. As you guys might not know, President Trump was shot at again, or was going to be shot at again by somebody who wanted to murder him. So the next 6 to 7 weeks, I guess 6 weeks before the election, are going to be weird. Lots of things can move us around. Politically, the football is going to be wild. And then you have the SAVE Act from Congress where they might shut down government in October. to try and get this bill passed for election integrity. So I don't know, man. There's so much going on. I don't know that there's any guarantees we're going up. I hope we do, and I think that should be the path. We definitely technically are ready for it. I think we're fundamentally ready for it too, but there's just weirdness in the air right now. Let me see here. Yeah. Mr. Casper says miners are bad for BTC. The more they mine, the more they dilute the value. No, that's not true. It's not remotely true. It's bad for miners. It's not bad for BTC. BTC generates the same amount of Bitcoin no matter what. So there's nothing to that. The miners, though, I mean, if they keep increasing the hash rate, then they increase the difficulty, and then their payout drops. So if there's a lot of competition in miners, they butcher each other, but they don't do anything to Bitcoin. And Bitcoin literally couldn't survive without them. So it's kind of needed. Need nodes, need miners. Oak, I mean, they're supposed to add to the supply. It's not bad when ETFs or other big players are buying multiples above the daily issuance of Bitcoin. It's actually really good. It's really good that they're buying multiples. Some of the contracts and the way they're settled, it would be better if they're US or if they're Bitcoin settled instead of USD or some other method. But no matter what, you still eat up the supply, and it's on a ledger that is immutable and it's pseudo-anonymous, which means that like there's companies like Chain Analysis that can tell you all the wallets that are out there and who they are. I mean, the FBI uses them all the time, so it's not like we can't figure out who's holding what, and to validate that they have the reserves of whatever they're issuing for an ETF, right? So it's not like gold, guys. Bitcoin is way better than gold. Let me see here. Did you Kodak? I'm watching 2x. Mark LeBlanc, Beat the Denominator just put out an Iron video today. Beat the Denominator? Is that the person's name? Great perspective on valuation. I'll check it out. Thank you guys. You guys are wonderful, man. Getting me up to speed all the time. Beat the Denominator. What a name. I mean, it's kind of cool. All right. Iron video. I will check that out and do research on that. Cool. Yeah, Iron's probably my primary focus for this next week, honestly. And all the top ones, my top 4, maybe even top 7, I will be listening to conference calls going forward too, so that I can try and ascertain as much as I can about the companies. I'm also following all of them on X now, so that we can get more detail there too, and so I can stay on top of things. And this weekend, I'm probably not getting to it today, but maybe Monday, if I have time, I'm going to start setting up my Patreon and a Discord, because what I'd like to do is take all the stocks I'm focused on and that you guys are really interested in, and that we kind of collectively think like, oh, maybe a Discord for up and coming, like interesting ones, like a Discord channel for them broken down. I think you could do sub channels. I haven't used Discord in so long, in order to be able to like put all the things we're interested in reviewing. That way you guys can add content too, and maybe have a few of you as moderators. So if you're interested in that, let me know. But I would like to get it to where all the stuff that we're getting and finding out about with these companies, including Bitcoin miners that we're following, we're shoving all that information into a place where it's centrally located, and we can do deeper dives and evaluation about it, so that when we come to these things every week, we are as smart as we can possibly be. Yeah, so Stefan said MicroStrategy had a pretty big move on Friday. Oh, it was huge. It was like 8% or something, right? Silas, Satoshi had a good understanding of the best time when chain rates and how technological innovation would increase the network hash rate. Yeah, he did. He was brilliant. I still think it's Hal Finney, but some other people have been trying to talk me into thinking that that's not true. So we'll see if my perception changes over time. K Jesse, on the mining efficiency part of visual stocks, do we want to see higher number or lower number? It depends on what you're talking about. If you're seeing, which one are you talking about? Total cost per Bitcoin mined, and some of these metrics I need to validate. That you want to see a lower cost, right? But this one could be getting confused with HPC. I'm not sure. I need to look at all of it. But otherwise, like Bitcoin mined per exahash, you want to see a higher number. Yeah. Mark LeBlanc, lower joules per terahash is better too, depending upon what metrics you're looking at. Yeah, exactly. Yep, you're 100% right. And we'll have nice, pretty charts that it will hopefully be visually stunning here for visual stocks, not too far off. Mark LeBlanc, BTD is a boss, smart man, just straight up valuation master. Quick videos too. He's bullish on CleanSpark, but we just pitched him Iron recently. Okay, cool. I'll check him out, dude. I like meeting other content creators, especially if they provide a ton of value. And I'm long-winded, so if he can do it quickly too, that's even better. All right, cool. So yeah, so I don't have a lot today, guys. I really don't. I don't know if there's additional things we want to talk about. I wanted to update you guys on the fact that I got the requests out to Alejandro with Visual Stocks. That I'm going to be doing the Patreon and the Discord, and I want to put these things into there. That I'm going to be doing a deep dive into Iron here soon. Let me also just check chat over here. Bitcoin minus stock. Yeah, like HODL. Iron is a different strategy. The leverage is in the operations. I want to own the best company, the best that mines the best. Yeah, totally agree. Blame Connor. New man. Oh, okay. So nothing new on X. Unless if you guys have more stuff you want to talk about on the X, let me know. But really, that's the gist today. And I don't know. What do you guys think? Do you want to have a separate video? Maybe I'll do it Saturdays, starting to delve into shit coins. I'm going to be, that's something else I want to do here. I'm going to be talking about these more and what I hold. So if you look over here, I think I can do this. Let me just see how this works here. Yeah, why do I only have one watch list? Where is the favorites in here? I got to figure the screens out in this. Mobile seems to work differently than this desktop app. Maybe this one right here. No. Is favorites in... there we go. Cool. That's weird. Oh, it must be tied to a different account. I must have to log in. So, yeah, anyway, so I've got a favorites list now that includes my my holdings. I'm going to, like I said, update my portfolio allocations on X. I'll do that by tomorrow morning. I was going to try and do it today, but just too much shit going on. And then during my political video, Trump got shot at, so it got weird. But I'm going to update my portfolio allocation for my regular portfolio, and then I'm also going to have a visual portfolio allocation on X that's going to have my shit coins in it. And then I'd like to do something video, the least stinky shit coins. That's a tough one. There's so many to choose from. We got PopCap, we got CKB, we got all this other shit. I don't even know what half of it is anymore. There's a lot of shitty shit coins, but I will at least share that, and maybe I'll just do it at the big end of the Bitcoin mining video, along with like looking up, technicals on them. I'm going to update you each week on any news from each of the Bitcoin miners that I'm tracking. Starting with what I believe the most important news events are going to be. We'll look at the visuals real quick and just see how people are trending, how these different miners are trending against each other from different metrics. And I'll probably again pull up some charts with them too for any of the miners that you guys are interested in, and I can do that right now. If you guys have any miners where you want to see the chart, let me know. And then I'll probably jump into that same session. I'll just make it Bitcoin miner comparison plus crypto, and then at the end of it, I'll show you guys the allocation on what I'm sitting at with my shit coins, any new news that I'm curious about. And show you guys my portfolio sizing, and then we can talk about those too if anybody has any ones of interest. I don't delve as deeply into the shitcoin stuff as I used to. It's a lot of brain space in a space that probably shouldn't require a lot of it, because it's just a clusterfuck of garbage, where 99% of it is trash, in my opinion. But again, you can make a lot of money off of it. You can get 100x's. So there is potential there. But this next one, I'll do all those things in the next video, and I'll show you guys the updated portfolio allocation that shows how I'm allocated in mine. And then again, we can talk about all this stuff. Have you encountered Nibiru? How do you say that? Nibiru? Is that a shitcoin? No, I have not. 150,000 BTC, that is. All right, let me see. Jesse, do you reckon that MicroStrategy might go to like 350 at 150,000 BTC? Well, let's look here. I don't know off the top of my head. Let me just see. So you're asking. I don't like that. One sec. I got to fix that. I switched my default browser to Brave because I was going to update the ad thing and get it to where I didn't have to have that stuff on here, and I don't like that at all. So I gotta move that over. Let me just do this. I'll just pull up TradingView. I'll do it over here, and then I'll move it over because I can't share in that, and it blows. Let me just pull this over real quick. So let's look. I'll just pull up watch list, miners. I got to update this too. This. Let's see. Did you say Mara or MicroStrategy? Which one were you at? MicroStrategy. Okay, cool. Let's look at their chart. So you're talking about Bitcoin going up a decent chunk. Let me go to full chart here. And then let me do this. I need to actually pull it up in here. I'll get my default switched around. Boy, you can just see how nice MicroStrategy jumped. All right. So you're saying what can it go to? 350? Where were you here? Yeah, 350 if Bitcoin goes to 150. Oh, fuck, easy. Yeah, easy. I mean, if Bitcoin goes to 150, it's probably 390, maybe 550. Because you have to realize, like, what is that? What is that for Bitcoin? Let me just jump over here real quick. From where we're at right now, we're at like what, 60K? Here, I'll look at the rest of the chat in a second. So you were talking about a much bigger move. So you're talking about Bitcoin going up 150%. So you should theoretically expect at least 300% from MicroStrategy, in my opinion. So yeah, it could do that. It could totally do that. Because if we're going 300% right now, yeah, it's the .618, dude. That's probably the right number. It's the golden retracement zone. So if Bitcoin goes to 150, you're going to get at least 540. I wouldn't see anything lower than that. It's a good 2x multiplier to the underlying, at least. And again, it could go even higher. Let me see here. Let me get caught up with the rest of the chat. C-list, early stage shitcoin, yes. Obviously, you're unfamiliar. Probably not worth the time, though. Some like it. Yeah, I don't know. There's always a new fucking cool thing. I don't know. I should probably look. I like to err on the school of thought, like James Invest, on what chains are getting utilized, and that's where I have the bulk of my money. It's on Solana right now, but I'll show you guys that next time. I'll show you my allocation, and we'll go through all of that. But there might be some that I get interested in and throw some coin. The problem is I want to hold them at least a year, and it's pretty late. We're already in September, and so if shitcoins are going to start popping, I don't know if I'll be able to hold them for a year before I sell, and I don't like paying high tax rates. Even if I made really good money on something, I'd rather make, I don't know, 6x off of MicroStrategy or 7x off of MicroStrategy and hold that for a year and then pay a really low tax rate. Like, that's me. Oak says, I was talking about the BTC mined per exahash. You want more Bitcoin mined for each exahash. If you have a higher number, it means that you're getting more Bitcoin for the amount of hash rate that you have, and it means your equipment is probably newer and more efficient. But yeah, it just depends on the metric. We'll go through all that stuff in the next one. First time seeing some of these figures, and I'm seriously trying to learn them. Oh yeah, we'll dive into it more in the future. Essentially, though, you want the most efficient, right? So if somebody's getting 15 Bitcoin per exahash, but you're getting 20. Well, I shouldn't explain it that way. We'll talk about it more in the next one. I'll be able to give a much clearer answer that's less confusing. Disease Kodak, live on shitcoins would be cool. That'll be next week. We'll do it. And how to buy them if you could, say, because sometimes, they're so. I try to stick with shitcoins that are on Coinbase now, because after the great wash of a year and a half ago with FTX and a bunch of other companies, and Binance, CZ going to jail. It's just one of those things where I don't want to get it from sources that aren't like going to be okay with the SEC, especially if Harris becomes a president, because I think the pain and suffering might not be over for some exchanges. I'd want to be with the ones that are most embedded with Wall Street. And with Coinbase custodying like almost all the major ETFs in the United States, and probably over 90% of the ETF dollars, I would feel more comfortable holding or buying things that are on Coinbase, not some weird exchange overseas. Plus, if you hold a certain dollar amount, people don't even know this, but if you hold over like 10 grand in foreign currency, which shitcoins can count as, you have to report that to the IRS. So there's a lot of things that I don't feel like people are doing correctly, that they need to understand and do correctly if they're going to be buying on exchanges that aren't based in the United States. So I'm like a Coinbase only. That's why all my shit coins are things that you can get on Coinbase. Even though they have higher fees, they do have a monthly program. I think it's like Coinbase One or something. It's where you can pay a monthly fee and you save on the fees when you're buying and selling. For somebody DCAing, that might give you cheaper fees. I think it's like $40 a month that I pay or something. I don't know. We can go into that more detail though, for sure. CLIS, it was over 200 some months ago. Oh, MicroStrategy? MicroStrategy was right at 200. It like touched it. So yeah, it would be easy for this thing to go to 550 if Bitcoin goes to 150K. It would be easy. If anything, I mean, it's probably bare minimum going to be between 550 and 850. Because you got to realize this thing too has operated at more than a multiplier of 2x versus the underlying assets. From the bottom, I mean, if you look over here, what did it go up for MicroStrategy? How high did it go? It went from this last cycle bottom to what it got to in the top. It went up 1,400% from its January 2023 low. So if you think about it, it was really well over 3x. It was over 3x. So this thing could do stupid shit, especially if you're in MSTX, a multiplier of it. You could get some weird numbers, man. You could get some real weird numbers off of MicroStrategy. Who knows? It might be the best Bitcoin miner. Oh yeah, Coinbase One. Yeah. So you guys validated it. So that's what I use to lower my transaction fees. Even though I haven't really been using it, they're probably getting the better end of the deal because I haven't really been trading at all. So I probably shouldn't have it, honestly. But if you're DCAing or something, it would be totally smart to have that Coinbase One. Mario says, "Hey, Cyber Jesse, is your portfolio allocation just on stocks, or does it include options and stocks?" It's not, or I should say this. It is on both, and I don't do a good job breaking it down. It might be something I want to do too. I might have like a separate, depending on how easy it is for me to maintain. I have to think of ways to automate this as much as possible because I'm doing a lot of manual shit right now to come up with my portfolio allocation. And I don't differentiate in here between stocks and options. But like Tesla, 95% of that is options. PayPal, all of its options. ArcG, all of its options. CleanSpark, huge portion, 95% of it's probably options. And then that is pretty much it outside of Hood, which needs to be updated because I have more on that. But I'm normally not this option heavy. I just have a lot of multipliers right now because I feel really good about my potential returns. I normally would not recommend the levels of concentration I have in options to anybody, and I don't even know if I would recommend that to anybody, period. It's just my play, guys. It doesn't have to be yours. If you want to be conservative, stick with stocks. It's probably best for 90% of people anyway. But yeah, I'll see if maybe I can do that. Maybe I could show. Yeah, shit, I should be able to. I think I have those data points. I do have a category called cash, right? Cash stock call fund, an option. Do I have option? Oh, I can add it. Yeah. I can do that. Yep. So I should be able to break that down too. So I'll try and get 3 images in here. One, my portfolio allocation, and maybe that will just show like Tesla stock and calls. Yeah, that's what I'll do. I can do that. I could fucking 100% do that. That's a great question. I'll try and get that updated this week where going forward, I'm going to show you what the pie of how much is options versus stock. I should be able to do that. Hopefully, as long as I can make it pretty visual. And then I'll have my my shitcoins in here too. Disease Kodak saw a red Cybertruck today. It's dope. That's awesome, man. I still love mine so much. Some people, I get, like when I'm out driving a lot, I usually get one person to give me the middle finger each day. But then there's other people that love it. Kids always love it. Like always. Young kids love it, period. All right, let me see here. I don't think we got much else. Do you guys want to see? Should I pull up Bitcoin and should I look at charts or something, or should we call it good for today? I've been going a lot anyway. I won't fight you if you want to call it good. But again, my main focus for this next week is going to be Iron. It's going to be getting the Patreon going. It's going to be getting the Discord going, so that if there's anything about Bitcoin miners or stocks that we're all invested in or that I follow on a daily basis or that you guys are interested in, we're sharing that information and putting it all in. You guys are laughing. Are you laughing about my Cybertruck comments? I mean, that's the way it is, man. Some people lose their shit when they see that thing. They just fucking hate it. Other people love it. Other people just laugh. Other people just stare with their mouth open. But you get reactions. I've had my Cybertruck for over 4 fucking months, and I tell you guys, it still is jaw-dropping everywhere I go. Every place I go, people are looking at it and wondering what I'm driving and why I'm driving it. And it's kind of fascinating. If you don't mind being stared at all the time by everybody around you, it's a lot of fun. And since I do this YouTube thing, it doesn't bother me anymore. Used to. C-list, Jesse, good that you have not lost interest in your new toy. Oh, I love it, dude. It's my favorite thing. I'm just waiting on, this is supposed to be the month where I get full self-driving, and then I'm really going to have a good time. In about a week, 2, I've got to take it in for servicing, because I cracked my fucking window, and then I still got my armor plate that I need to fix from trying to use it as a jet ski. There's just a bunch of stupid little things I got to get fixed. And I'm getting a spare tire. They're adding that to the back too because I got a bunch of credits from referrals. So just a bunch of things I'm doing. Should be fun. Disease Kodak, how's everyone doing tonight? Smash that like button. Yeah, if you guys could, that'd be great. Sealess, yes, Cybertruck, and you still saying you love yours. You better. Oh, dude, I love it so much. It's such a crazy ride, guys. All-wheel steering, and it's like driving a Porsche. But the Porsche is armored, and it can literally handle like a Porsche because of the all-wheel steering. You get amazing maneuverability for something that weighs like 6,300 pounds or whatever it is. It's insane. It's such a fucking cool toy. All right, Z's Kodak Discord is going to be sweet. You're going to do both Discord and I think so because I think. I don't know. I got to figure it out. I want to be able to get the memberships you guys are giving me. So just to be clear, YouTube, the memberships you guys are giving me, some of you guys are awesome. Like I got 10 whales on here. I don't remember what a whale is, 20 or $25. You guys are fucking awesome. I got alpha male and females that are giving me $10 a piece. I got the starter pack, which was originally $3. Then I lowered it to $2. But I've got all these different memberships, but it sucks because a huge portion of that is taken from YouTube. And so you guys are giving a bunch of money, but they get tons of it. Advertising revenue, they get 55%. I believe they get over 30% of membership revenue, 30 or 35. And I think they do that with tips and donations too. And so like the money you guys are given, most of it goes to YouTube. Or at least half, right? When you average out memberships and ad revenue, like half the fucking money goes to them. And the question is, why am I doing that? And so what I'd like to do is drop the YouTube side down to $1, have you guys contribute via Patreon. And so if I get contributions in there, great. Then I can also start filling it with content that hopefully is helpful. And then if you're in the Patreon, you'll get access to the Discord. That's kind of what I'm thinking. But I've also never done this before. So if there's anybody more knowledgeable, please let me know. And I could use all the help I can get, but I'm going to try and research it and figure it out and get it all working. But I want to make sure that it's valuable to you guys. I also want to get my revenue stream off of YouTube because I cuss like a sailor and they always censor me. They always demonetize me. And at a whim, they could just delete my channel. And if that happens, I want to be able to not care and just focus on creating content on the other 12 sites I can distribute to. You know what I mean? Or just start a new channel and not give a fuck. I just don't want to be dependent upon YouTube, and I want to give you guys more value. Oak said, Beam is the only coin I had to buy on a different platform, a crypto gaming platform. I think they have it on, I think I have it. I think they have it on Coinbase now. I'm not sure, though. I don't even know what Beam is anymore, man. It's like, I used to give so many shits about altcoins. Just none anymore. Very little. Disease Kodak. I mean, if majority of vids are going to be on YouTube, you'll do exclusive videos. I don't know. Probably not. But it's just that I'll probably have, if people want to contribute to the platform, they'll get that on Patreon, and that will get them access to the Discord. And the Discord is where I think a lot of the really fun, like, okay, somebody just got an update, they posted it in Discord, we just found out something way quicker on there in regard to a specific company because it's in the container that it's supposed to be in. I don't know. I'm trying to think through all of it, but I do think I wasn't going to do it before, but I want to delever from YouTube, and I want a place where we can more quickly communicate and chat with each other. And that's not necessarily great right now in groups on X. But I do think the video content is getting better, which is why I'm happy to be doing that on there now. But it's gonna be a figured out thing. If it sucks, if I set up Patreon and Discord and I can't see where the benefit to you guys is, I'm probably not gonna do it. Disease Kodak, I'm cool if you call it a night. Yeah, I'm probably gonna in a second here. I'm just getting through chat. So Sam Richards, what do you think is reasonable price for PayPal to make it to? I mean, I don't know off the top of my head. Let me pull it up here real quick. I mean, it doesn't have to do much for me to make a fortune off my options. So if it doubles in price, I can make 10x. If it does that over a decent period of time, like let's say between now and spring or late spring. So if it just went up to here, if it just went up to, the 120, not even a double, just even up to here, just to where the 200 moving average is at 82% increase, I could make shit tons of money. I don't know if it's 7 or 8x right now, my money. It doesn't have to do much for me to make shit tons of money and be happy. I haven't thought, really, it's up to their execution. I think Alex Chris is doing an amazing job. But I'll probably leave it there because I don't want to get too much into non-Bitcoin or crypto related stuff right now on here. Disease Kodak, but again, during the morning show and during the market recap, I'm happy to talk about it. Disease Kodak, need to rest, fresh mind for tomorrow's market. Agreed. Silas, did you watch the SpaceX capsule landing? Dude, it was so cool. It's so cool. Like everything that happened with that Polaris mission is amazing. Parachutes opening. Oh, I just covered up here what you said. Parachutes opening were like a mating dance to the jellyfish. Yeah, it's cool. They do such a good job. SpaceX is the leader for the world. Mario said, "You're the best." No, you are, Mario. Thank you. Oaks, so sad to see all the betas hating on Elon. It's absurd that people flip you off just driving. It's so weird. It's people on the right and left, dude. It's both of them. I had somebody do it in a Subaru. They probably I don't know, or like white dudes for Kamala or something were flipping me off yesterday. But then like the day before, it was some dudes trying to coal roll me. I don't even know. It's weird too because I got I got Trump magnets with like Trump with like a Punisher face with his little hair going over, sitting on the side. It's like, bro, what the fuck? But so like car people, diesel people, they don't like it, and then again like white dudes for Harris don't like it. That seems to be the bulk of them. Bruno says, will it be risk off going into September 18th? Will it? Sorry, what is it? Can you tell me what it? Are you just talking about general markets, Bruno? Disease Kodak, Patreon could be cool. I think it could be. I need to make sure it works. Disease Kodak, I mean Discord. My bad. I think Discord is going to be the biggest value add, but I don't know if you can have memberships on Discord. Can you guys? Do you know? I'll look it up. If there's no value in Patreon, but I can do everything I want to do on Discord, then that's the way I'll do it. I just need to figure it out. I do like the idea of having a community where we can always chat with each other outside of a video, though, and not just on X, where it's just like there's a lot of other chatter on X, right? So that's one of the biggest things, I think, having containers where we're communicating with this group together. I love that concept. Discord is awesome for instant group chatting. We can all help. Yeah, see, that's the way I look at it, Luke Automata. We can all help each other make money. Zero haters allowed. It's not X, where X like has groups, but again, I just don't know. It doesn't feel like it's the best place for what we're trying to do, and you can't have like channels and channels, if that makes sense. All right, gonna head out. Yeah, I'm probably gonna head out here too. General market, yes. Tech and I don't know, man. So again, next week, guys, is a big week. So you're bringing up the 18th probably just because you're talking about what the Fed's going to do with rates. That's going to be very interesting. Check me in the morning show tomorrow, probably firing up around 7:30. Let's actually look at economic data and see when we're going to start tomorrow, because I like to start around the time where the data is available. So all we have is New York Empire State Manufacturing. That's like nothing. So I'll probably start at 7:30 tomorrow, right when this thing comes out, and then just do a quick morning show for the market open. And then, yeah, there's a little bit. I mean, Tuesday isn't much either. It's retail sales, it's Red Book, it's industrial production, capacity utilization, it's industrial and manufacturing, like a little bit of that, business inventories. I mean, those things are interesting, but nobody's going to give a shit until Wednesday. And Wednesday is when we have the FOMC rate decision at 1 p.m. And then we'll have them, meeting afterwards and talking about it. And they're also putting out their projections around that time. So that's in the press conference a half an hour later. You're probably right. We could trade sideways really until that day. If the market does do good before that, though, then that'll be even more of an interesting tell, I think. If we continue to go up into the 18th, that could be really interesting. Yeah. Goodnight Kodak says, Desco, Johnny, Patreon is great for longer content write-ups. Discord is better for communities. But can you do memberships in Discord? Because again, I've got two goals. Build a membership group on Discord where we can communicate more effectively and disperse content, and I can put things out. But again, it's like I want to also de-lever from these platforms as far as contributions go, so that I can increase the revenue. So maybe I can hire somebody for editing and stuff to grow, and also just not have to worry about them fucking me. Like YouTube could fuck me at any point, and I could just disappear, and then I got to start over. And I don't want to deal with any of that. I don't like being demonetized every fucking day. I don't like it. C-List, this country has so many horrible guys right now, especially on the left, who are emotionally weak. I am no tough guy, but having some principles matters. I agree. I think people are too soft as far as like words are hate now that can be like again in the UK, my words shouldn't put me in prison for two years. That's my strong belief. And it would suck if I was talking on YouTube in the United States and they could just imprison me because I said things that other people didn't like and thought was misinformation. I think that's bullshit. I think people should be able to say what they feel. You should be kind and come with some air of respect. I don't like racism. I don't like blatant hatred. I don't like any of these things. But you should be able to come out and speak your thoughts and not have to worry about being called a racist or something else just because you don't like illegal immigration. Like, again, I agree with you. There's some weak people out there that need to toughen up, suck it up, or shut the fuck up. One of the two, three, whatever. Sean Slee, hey Jesse, do you think the rate cut could be sell the news? No. I mean, it depends on the perception of it. It won't be sell the news, though. It's an event. It is a real event that has a real impact fundamentally to the housing market, the auto sector, everybody that's having to refinance debt, which is the majority of the market, including companies like MicroStrategy. I mean, they won't be doing it anytime soon because they got really good rates. But companies that are smaller and cash-strapped, it's very much a market-moving event and not a sell the news event. Like, oh, hey, we knew it happened, it's done. But I mean, it could kind of be, though. You could run up in anticipation of 25 bips. Then maybe we get 50 and Powell doesn't word it right and the market gets scared. Or maybe we get some really shitty manufacturing and industrial data before it and he does 50 and the market gets scared. There could be things that happen that are weird that we have to think about. And we'll talk about them over the next few days. Hey, Jesse. Oh, yeah. C-List. It's an election year. No recession permitted. That's actually pretty true. I mean, if we look at charts in election years, I mean, Bitcoin has succeeded every election year, right? Right after the election, that happens to coincide with Bitcoin's halving cycle, and every one of them have been pure magic. And we're looking at a rate lowering environment where we're going to see increased liquidity across the board. It's not just us. China's failing miserably. Really do need to talk about that more. Maybe we can do it in the morning show tomorrow. Maybe we can talk a little bit about China and just all the craziness that's going on there. Johnny Utah, you can do memberships in both. I'm part of Patreon that gives me Discord access. Yeah, see, that's the thing, though, right? So you have to have your membership in the Patreon to get the Discord access. Is that right, Johnny? Silas, yes, disagreeing about something or having concerns is usually not hate, right? We can have differences of opinion. They shouldn't lead to people trying to assassinate President Trump for the second time, right? I think we can all agree on that. Les Walter, a guy went to jail for 2 years for flying a British flag at some type of... See, that's bullshit. That angers me so much. We should live in a world where the government serves us, not where we're servants to it, and they can do irrational, stupid things that don't morally make any sense, like imprisoning somebody for flying a British flag in the fucking UK. How does that make any sense? Main Stage News. Just was able to start watching. Barely caught you live. Thanks for all your hard work. Yeah, no problem, man. Yeah, feel free to check it out. We talked through a lot of things that we're working on right now. I'm going to be working on iron and my understanding of that quite a bit. I want to understand if there's anything to the validity of the short report, and then I want to understand the business really well and see if this, high performance compute HPC business is really going to be anything. I feel like I should at least look at one HPC company and put some effort into it. Check out Cycle Trader named Camel Finance. I'd love your perspective on his work. Yeah, I can do that. Camel Finance. I'll look it up. Drop my pen. So, specifically, macro being bad enough that top comes in December. No, I don't agree with him at all. But I'll check it out, and then I'll tell you why he's an idiot. I'd be happy to do that. I mean, no offense to Camel Toe or Camel Finance. Yeah, Johnny Utah. Yeah, that's true. If you want to have access to the Patreon, however, you can just pay for the disc. Oh. What do you mean by pay for the Discord? Can you have membership on a Discord? Because if you could do that and there's no value in the Patreon, I'll just do that. But whatever. You don't have to answer my question. I can do the research. Oh, hey, it looks like Freedom Fighter's talking on X too. Let me look at that real quick, guys. Make sure I don't leave him behind. All right, Freedom Fighter says, hey, I'm curious if you think the government will force a recession and push everyone into treasuries and bonds earlier than we think. No, they won't do it right away. So it's going to be a twofold process. Here, let me read the rest of your question, and then I'll answer. I know it was said for it about a year, but could it happen now? Is it possible the government will push a recession to get everyone back into treasuries earlier than we anticipated? Why can't it be happening now? Yeah, I can answer that. Hey, Jesse, I love your content. I think you may have missed my message earlier. I was wondering. Yeah, sorry. I'm trying to look at multiple screens. I got to get used to my mind now because I've got OBS over here showing me the live stream. I've got YouTube Studio in front of me that's got comments in it that I'm used to reading from. Then I've got Restream down below sitting in front of me that's got both of them consolidated. Then I've got X over here. So it's just like, it's fucking with my head, man. But yeah, so let me answer your question here. So it can't happen yet. And here's the reason they don't want to force a recession yet. Because they have lots of spending to do and they're starting their political career in office. The president is starting their career, whether it be Donald Trump or Kamala Harris. They're both going to spend a lot of money and they both want to succeed, right? So no, they're going to push off a recession as far off as they can because the last thing they want to do is have the economy rolling over at the beginning of a presidency. And historically, you just don't see that. That just doesn't happen. And so no, they're not going to force it yet. But if the economy is really juicing and doing well, they'd probably try and do something like a micro recession but they have to do it. They have to get perception to where people trust the U.S. first, right? That's the key thing that I think you need to think about, Freedom Fighter. Because here's the deal. If people don't look at the U.S. and say, oh, shit, they got past the election. Trump's in office. Oh, he's reducing the size of government. Oh, things are looking better now, guys. So the U.S. is looking good. Oh, it looks like we're having a recession. Oh, dude, I should buy some bonds. I really trust the U.S. isn't going to default on its debt, so I should get into bonds now because they're at a 200-year route, and now is a great time to jump into TLT. So you're gonna want people to trust the U.S. first, and you've got to build that trust. So you can't have it right away. I hope that makes sense to you, bro. Um, love your content. Yeah, okay. So yeah, no worries, dude. No worries. I've got to figure out my screens and stuff, man. It's okay. It's on me, not you, dude. Yes, you can charge for Discord. Oh, fuck it. That's what we'll do, guys. If we don't need a Patreon, then it's Discord. That's totally it. Okay. All right, Johnny, I love you. You might have just made my life a lot easier. I'll look at Discord and check into that then. That sounds like all we need. Because I'm not a big write-up long format guy anyways. And really, I'll show you the stuff in a YouTube video. I'll post it to X, right? So if that's all it is, then we'll just charge for Discord, and we'll put the bulk of the charge in that so that you guys can support me, and then we'll make the YouTube stuff like $1, so that we can just keep the trash out. So we'll make it to where it's pretty economical, if that's the case. Bruno, use WAP to Discord. WAP has a full suite of tools, monetize and manage your Discord. Oh, cool, Bruno. God, you guys are awesome. This is what I'm talking about, guys. The fact that we can learn from each other is badass. It's super badass. Jesse got his own major production. I do, actually. I've got a 46-inch OLED. I've got a 40-inch OLED above that I watch the TV on. I've got 327 inches, and then I got my MacBook running my main setup. But I've got a NVIDIA, I don't know, like fucking way too much. I don't even know. I think I spent $10,000 on my PC with a 4090 that I never use, NVIDIA graphics card, running the side one. So yeah, I've got a whole production studio. I got lighting. I got all this shit, man. It's weird. I don't know how I got here. But yeah, Silas, the Bradford thing was this April. I was there 20 years ago. Cool, man. Cool. Yeah, so all right, I got to check out some WAP. I gotta check out Camel what? Camel, I better write that down. Camel Finance. Gotta check out that too, and then I'll be doing research on Iron, guys. I think that's what we're looking at for this week. And I hope Freedom Fighter, I hope that made sense to you too, about my explanation. If it doesn't, you can ask more questions later. Stocks with Josh uses WAP. Okay, cool. All right, that's the game plan, guys. I'll start doing that. Thank you for everybody who attended, both on X and on YouTube. I really appreciate you guys. I appreciate all your time. And again, let's just crush it together. Let's build together. Let's figure out how to make a bunch of money together. I think that's the best thing. So again, appreciate all your time, guys. I know you got other things to do. So for the 100-ish people that came, it means a lot. It really does. You guys take it easy. I'll see you tomorrow morning at 7:30. Peace out, guys. Bye.